So it's not done very well. Venom 3. Did you watch this, Culture? Have you watched this?
Oh, no. The day I would have gone to see it was the day I couldn't get on a damn airplane, number one. Number two.
So I'm the only one that's watched it.
Yeah. Number two is that in the States, it's doing bad. Internationally, it's got really good numbers. So, I mean, it's a different
conversation. I wouldn't say really good numbers. What do you mean?
Well, it's better than Joker.
Yeah, but that's not hard. What's it done worldwide then? Sorry?
Over 180. It's like on its way to 200 already.
It's all right.
That's not bad.
Mainly China, though, isn't it?
How much did it cost to make? It just said it. Was it 50 odd?
No, these movies are about 120 odd million.
Yeah, I think it's like right around a 120 number. Yeah,
which is crazy when you think about it because of the amount of CG involved. And they can make them for like 120, which goes to show just how bad all the other budgets are when they're like 200, 300 million. And there's like, it just looks like dog shit all the time. They're like, where's that money gone then? What have you done? Like, what have you actually done? So, I mean, the story is just really, there's just not done massively well. And it's kind of gone out with a fart on a whimper. Basically, that's it, really. You know, not many people have gone to watch it in the West. I went begrudgingly. When? Sunday night? Saturday night? No. Monday?
Was it?
I can't remember when I went to watch.
Was it any good? I mean...
you know what? It was a weird one. I watched it last night actually. It was kind of a bit of a nothing movie. Like it was really weirdly paced, kind of all over the place. The best way to describe it, like it's not offensive. But it's also not good either. And the best way to describe it is like Tom Hardy and the writer sat down and was like, oh, this would be a cool scene with Venom. Oh, yeah. And then the other one was like, you know, it'd be another cool scene with Venom. Oh, if we had Venom do this. Oh, yeah. And then they basically just stitched all of these scenes that they thought were cool together into a movie. Because it feels really weirdly disjointed in parts, but also connected in others. It's just an odd one. And it started quite strong, the franchise. Started quite strong, and then they just... I don't know what happened. Bit of an odd one.
I feel like a lot of movies are written that way now. Well, I mean, when it comes to writing novels or a novella or a short story, anything like that, one of the worst things you can do is have it done by committee. You need one person's vision, one person's voice. That's why it's kind of rare. You do get it, especially in sci-fi. Sometimes two people will team up and write a novel. That's like a possibility. But if you've got like a team of people, committee, sitting around a table working on a script, that's a terrible way to do it. And yeah, I feel like a lot of films these days, particularly sort of action, superhero type films, it seems exactly what you just said, Nate, that they've just got these different individual scenes in mind. If that would be cool, like Transformer films. Spring to mind. That would be cool. Let's do that, and then they try and stitch it together and make a story or a continuous narrative out of it. And that's a terrible way of doing it. I mean, I saw the first Venom film. I think I've seen it twice. It was on TV not too long ago, and I thought it was all right. It was a mediocre for me. It was like a 5 or a 6. Like sort of just about worth watching, but not much more.
It's like a beer flick. You sit around. Right. Just perfectly enjoyable, but you could spend 5 minutes not looking at the screen and paying attention.
Yeah,
dive back into it 5 minutes later, and it's fine. But it was still entertaining. That's how I consider.
No, I completely agree with that take. And Venom 2, I saw it again. I think it was on TV. I can't remember quite how I saw it, but I sort of stopped paying attention to it at one point. I don't know why, but for me, I've never found Venom either scary, although obviously it's a terrifying image. Venom is a terrifying thing to look at, I suppose. But I never really found it scary. I never bought into that it's a scary monster, right? And I feel like the whole thing hinges around that you have to buy into, that it's this terrifying presence. And it just never was for me.
Well, they made it too slapsticky, I think, to be fair. That's why. But yeah. This is like, did the first one come out in like 2018? I think 2018. I mean, that's a long time to be in Tom Hardy's life. These Venom movies, just doing these as blockbusters. Like he's not really done a lot of other things in between, has he? So
it takes a lot of time to do these kinds of film shoots. Especially with an integrated character where you're planting a CGI upon them and all of that. Not to mention the fact that, what else would he have time to do? I mean, what other films where are people putting him? Are they putting him in the action film genre? Are they, is he stuck there? Is his strict adherence to, previous characters, keeping him down? Is it going to be typecast forever? Has he limited his opportunities by taking the Venom role? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think Tom Hardy's quite castable, to be honest. I don't think he would have limited his role.
So then so is he intentionally staying away from opportunity then?
I don't know. He does a lot. He does a lot of TV, actually, to be fair, I think. So I don't know, really.
I imagine, I can only speak for myself, but if I had a franchise that paid loads, I imagine he gets paid loads for these, tens of millions or whatever. I would sort of rest on my laurels a bit, but that's just me. Maybe that speaks of my inner laziness or something. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why people that are ridiculously famous and rich still work really hard. Like someone like Al Pacino, for example, or Clint Eastwood. It's like, chill out. You're like old and super, super rich and super, super famous. Your legacy is cast in stone, and you're still doing loads of work. Well, maybe not, but actually, they're both not actually anymore. But you get the point. You get the point I'm making.
Well, I'll say this. I mean, if you're Clint, you still are quite talented. And you're great behind the lens of the camera. You don't have to be on the camera anymore. His better roles came later in life when he had the opportunity to have more control over them. And when he walked in the door, anytime he walks in the door at Warner Brothers, they just give him a bag of money, and he puts most of it in his pocket and makes a movie for $2 million. So, I mean, that's what he does.
Same with Michael Caine, though. Michael Caine worked into his later years.
That's a good example. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when you look at Al Pacino. I mean, he's just a douchebag, and he was absolutely broke, so he had to take a lot of roles later in life.
Oh, was he really? I never knew that.
The person that I really I like and appreciate his Hollywood sort of comeback. It's bloody Nicolas Cage.
I know.
That guy got in so much debt, with like the
IRS, yeah.
So much debt, like he had a Tyrannosaurus Rex skull, like it was loads of weird stuff that he bought. Obviously, it's Nicolas Cage. Like, come on, he's going to buy weird stuff.
He's not a normal dude,
and he's just been working like job after job after job after job after job. This is an Academy. He's got an Oscar. He's an Oscar winner. And he's just been taking the utter scummy, shitty, straight to streaming jobs just for the past couple of decades. And he's like, I'm debt free now. I remember the article. It was like 2 years ago. I was like, yeah, go Nicolas Cage. So I'm debt free. I can finally choose what films I want to.
Well, dude, he did Long Legs. I mean, just think about that. So it's like, all right.
It's not just that he did Pig. Pig was a great movie.
Yeah, and he did the incredible weight of ridiculous talent or whatever the hell that was.
Yeah.
It's funny how some of these people, like multi-millionaires, for whatever reason, end up broke still, and they have to work. Like it happened to Kevin Bacon. I think he lost all his money with Bernie Madoff. I might be wrong about that, but he lost nearly all his money, and he has to work really hard again. Or like at one point, Mike Tyson. This is back in the 90s. Lost all his money and had to sort of keep making money again. And there's a few people. Say Wesley Snipes, wasn't he an IRS victim as well? Something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
And you just described it properly. Victim.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, we're getting a little bit off topic here.
Political.
It's not that. It was just way off topic from Venom 3, which I'm fine with because I think I steered it there as well. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's difficult to really talk about because you guys. I mean, you've watched the first one, haven't you? But Bo, Culture, have you seen any of these or not?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and I thought Carnage was complete shit.
Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah. So I mean,
first film was entertaining. I was just going to add, the first film was entertaining. The second film was like hot dog shit on fire.
Yeah. Yeah, I hated the second one with a passion. It was awful film. So I guess this is just a video to kind of bookend the franchise. Really, it does leave it open for him to return because, of course, Sony wanted to do that, and I think that they did that just in case this movie made a lot of money, and I think that they were banking on it making quite a lot of money as well. But I don't think it's going to. So yes. But there you go. Are you happy to see this end? What do you want for Tom Hardy next? I guess what kind of role would you like for Tom Hardy next? Because he was one of the bookies' favourites to be James Bond at one point.
I mean, I like him as an actor. He's good. Going all the way back to he was in Band of Brothers. He had a very small part in Band of Brothers as a very young man. No, I think he's a good actor. There's lots of actors who I don't really like the person, but I won't deny they're a good actor. Right? I mean, Tom Cruise springs to mind, or Brad Pitt. I mean, Brad Pitt seems like an all right guy, but I think he's a good actor. Right? People throw shade at him. Anyway, I think Tom Hardy's a good actor, so I'd like to see him do something serious. Do something a bit serious, something heartfelt, maybe. I don't know. I'm no agent.
He was in. I was trying to find the name of the film. A really, really good one from him. I think so. There's two that were really decent. So Lawless was a really, really good one. Played sort of gangsters, really, but yeah, sort of gangsters. In the sort of Prohibition days, if I remember rightly. I'm trying to remember. That's like a 12-year-old film now. And then also Warrior. He was really good in Warrior, which is a great movie. Fantastic film. So yeah, more like that, more serious roles. I'm keen for. What about you, Coach?
No, I'd like to see him in other roles. I'd like to see him. I like what he does. So yeah. Culture check your phone. Okay.
All right. Anything else there then?
What was the Bronson? Do you ever see Bronson?
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good, damn good acting. I mean, I sort of hate
that.
Yeah, I sort of hate it when they lionize a scumbag, like Chopper. Do you ever see the film Chopper?
Yeah.
I kind of hate the real life Chopper and the real life Bronson, the criminal Bronson, not the 70s actor. But the film Chopper and Bronson are both good films. I really like them. And anyway, Hardy I thought did very good acting in that one. So the man can act. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, Bronson was like, what a crazy performance in Bronson that he did. Like very nuanced, like lots and lots of layers in that. Like, yeah, it's not like a straight up madman. There was a fair amount in that as a performance, I thought. Yeah, solid, very, very solid. All right, Culture, you want to say anything else? You got anything else?
I like him. I think there's a lot of potential in his future, but I think he's going to have to take something that's not an action thing to kind of get his chops back up, or people to think more highly of him. So
yeah, fair enough. All right, cool. Well, let's shuffle on from that. Ladies and gentlemen, in the chat.